Hey, what's up, guys? I'm here with Mark from Arm Dynamics today. I did a video a couple days ago about some cool stuff that I got from Original Special Operations Equipment, and I wanted to do a little talk about something that I had encountered. I got this awesome stacked micro rig from them, and it comes with 4 mag pouches and a tearaway med kit. And I knew what to put in the mag pouches, magazines. But I was a little unfamiliar about what goes in the med kit, where to source the stuff, how to package it all up and make sure that this thing is efficient. So I called up Mark, and they run a cool medical class over at Arm Dynamics. And so I thought I'd pick his brain for a little advice about how to set up a small and efficient med kit. So here to talk about it is Mark.
So if you guys remember in the last video that John shot on this, you kind of had stuff in different places. We've gone and fixed some of those things and made it just a little better laid out. Initially, he had his tourniquet, as you remember, in one of these smoke grenade pouches. We don't generally like keeping tourniquets exposed on the outside of our rigs because some of them are sensitive to UV light. In the kind of weather that we're having right now, you get that thing in the snow, it gets wet, it freezes, the ice crystals will actually make sort of micro tears in the material, and that can cause your tourniquet to fail after many repetitions of that freezing and thawing process. So we've moved that to the inside where it's better protected. If you like the tourniquet on the outside, and I do actually like having a tourniquet on the outside, you want something like a quick deployment pouch, which is another thing SOE makes. So let's kind of dig into this tear-off med kit. It's a really cool design. As you can see, I moved the scissors to the outside here because occasionally the first thing you need is to access that wound. So good place for that. The tear-off med kit is cool because once you pop these straps off, it just comes right off. If you need to tear this off to do buddy aid, if you need to chuck it to someone who's injured because they were stupid and don't have their own med kit, it's just a really nifty design. So opening it up, let's show you what we did on the inside here. When it opens up, it just sort of flays out into here, and you can actually pack a lot of stuff into this. Right now we just really have the basics for them, all the sort of stuff that we cover in our 10-minute medicine class. First thing up front is the stuff that you're going to need immediately, which is tourniquet. This is the Soft T Wide, which I think is probably one of the best tourniquets on the market. The reason is it's got this nice wide strap on it, and also this sort of ingenious hook system. So if you're using it on a buddy and getting it underneath his leg, it just pops apart, wraps around, and hooks back into place. Very strong piece of gear. So that's on the outside there. Next thing we have...
You also mentioned to me that when you put your tourniquet in here, it's better to have it set up for a faster deployment?
When you get these, they're like rubber banded together, they're all compact. Your tourniquets, always take them out of the original packaging. Open them up all the way, so when you're sliding it over your own arm or leg, you're able to do that. You might not have 2 hands to do this buckleless, so just pulling it over your leg might be the thing. And if it comes like it's packaged like this, now you're in a position where you're trying to open this up and it's not really working for you. So always just open them up all the way, and then just sort of loosely fold them together and roll them up there. So when you pull it out, it just comes open for you. Definitely you want to think about these things ahead of time so you're not stuck there while you're bleeding out. Next thing we have in there, a piece of quick clot combat gauze. The gauze, the impregnated gauze, is really the only kind of hemostatic agent I recommend anymore because it doesn't have all the drawbacks of the granular stuff. There's no heat reaction. You can just use it in place of gauze wherever it needs to be used. Next thing we have in here is I really can never pronounce these right, Olays, however they pronounce it, TacMed Solutions. It's a great compression bandage. We have a spare one here that will show you guys what's inside of this package. Whenever you buy med gear, always buy spares of everything so you can tear it open and learn how to use it before you actually have to use it. The first time you're seeing the inside of this package should not be when you're bleeding. Even things, more durable things like a tourniquet, the amount of times you're going to want to use this thing in training, just buy a separate one for training, because while they do take a while to wear out, they do eventually wear out. And the last little bit of kit that we have in here is a Halo chest seal. This is actually, I think, my favorite chest seal on the market. There's no superfluous valves or anything like that, so it folds flat. And you also get 2 chest seals in the one package, so you have an entrance wound and an exit wound.
And that's safe to fold up, right? It's
Yeah,
not gonna take a crease.
Back in the day, with some of the earlier ones, if you folded them, they would get a crease in them, and they would not seal to the chest. These are much better. They're a very flexible piece of plastic, and they have what's called hydrogel adhesive, which is sort of like the super sticky stuff if you've ever seen defibrillator pads or AED pads. It's the same kind of adhesive. So it's meant to stick to bloody, sweaty, hairy chests.
Like mine.
Yeah, exactly. So you get 2 seals in there. Like I said, it's just a big tab on them. You peel it off, you slap it on. It's much more convenient than trying to make something with a wrapper and duct tape while you're bleeding. And duct tape actually doesn't really stick all that well.
Now, you recommended a couple sources for some of these things. I went to, for some of these items, I went to eBay. Like, for example, like the Quick Clot combat gauze from Combat Medical Systems. This stuff is what you recommended to me specifically.
Right.
And that it's available on eBay for like a third
Considerably
of the price.
cheaper. Usually these are about $50 a pop, and that's a lot of money to throw down. You can find them on eBay for considerably less money. Granted, it's probably stolen military equipment, but
I picked those up for like 3 for $40 or something.
right. So you saved a bunch of money. The expiration date on them, I know a lot of people tell you never use something that's expired. These are vacuum sealed. As long as they maintain their vacuum seal, these things are generally good. I've heard all sorts of numbers of years that they're good past their expiration date. This one doesn't expire for another 7 months, but as long as it keeps the seal, you're probably in good shape with it. If it does lose its seal and starts to puff up there, even if it's before its expiration date, dispose of it immediately, because the way that these work is they absorb moisture, and once that vacuum seal is gone, it's going to start absorbing the moisture from the air, and the active ingredients going to stop working for you.
And what was the other website you recommended for some of these other items?
Let's see. Some of these things, I guess you can get through our guys at AGS Armament. There's another couple of places. If you really search for it, a lot of this stuff, actually most of this stuff, is made by TacMed Solutions, which is a great company. I really like all the stuff that they do. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the kit. All the basic stuff you need: pair of shears, tourniquet, some gauze. Doesn't necessarily have to be combat gauze. If it's regular gauze, that works for 95% of the stuff that you're going to run into. Chest seal and some sort of compression bandage, and that's a well set up basic blowout kit.
What I also like about this rig is that there's an additional pocket in the back where I can store a number of things that may or may not either be critical to this type of blowout kit, or just sort of like spares or boo-boos.
It's actually a great place to put some boo-boo gear, because I can't tell you how many times it happens on the range. Someone's finger gets bit in a slide or something like that, and they're bleeding and they need a Band-Aid. And they're like, "Hey, does anyone have a Band-Aid?" They're like, "I have a compression bandage and Quick Clot." And you're like, "Well, I just need a Band-Aid," and no one has one. All right. So this is the compression bandage that John got for his kit. Most compression bandages are pretty good. I have I slightly favor this particular one because it has some interesting features, which I'm going to show you. Like I said, you should always buy multiples of your med gear, buy some extra stuff to play with, so the first time you play with it, you're not bleeding. So let's get this thing open. Basically, big gross motor movements to open it up. It's got a big tear tab. When you open it up, you get this coming out, and it looks like any other pressure bandage, really. You have your absorbent dressing attached to what's kind of like an ace wrap. The nifty thing about this is if you guys have ever put an ace wrap on like an injured ankle before, you know it's a pain in the ass. You drop it and it rolls all over the place. Well, they made this really smart move of putting these bars in there, so even if you do drop it, these little Velcro bars catch it from rolling out all the way. Also, as you're wrapping it around your extremity, they adhere to it, so if you accidentally let go or drop it, it doesn't unravel all the way and mean you have to start over. A really nice feature that a lot of other bandages don't and should have. Furthermore, this absorbent dressing looks very bulky here, and the reason for that is there's actually an entire extra wad of packing material in there. So you have this huge thing of gauze in here. So if you have an entrance and exit wound, not only do you have the pad for the front, but you have something for the rear. If you need to pack into the wound, and I can tell you that wounds, especially rifle wounds, can require a surprising amount of packing material to actually get tight. The other thing it has in here is it has this a small occlusive bit that you can use to cover a chest wound by wrapping by basically wrapping this around it. That would be if we didn't have something like the halo in there. I obviously prefer the halo for that, but yeah, this can be used for a number of other things as well, which I'm not going to go into right now. There's some survival stuff you can do with that, which is nifty. But so you have your extra packing material, which goes just right in here behind the primary pad on there. So let's just have John give his arm out here and show you how this works. So
Nice tats.
Thanks, bro.
yeah, it's pretty cool. You got the king with the AK-47s there. So as we put this on his arm, you have the two Velcro bits. And when you start to wrap this, obviously it adheres to itself. This here is a pressure cup, which you're going to put right over the injury so it adds extra pressure directly on the wound. As we wrap this around, like I said, it starts to adhere to these little strips on the side. So, oops, I let go of it, not a big deal. We can work with that. And now, those of you who are familiar with Israeli dressing know about this little bar right here. It does use Velcro on here, but it doesn't use Velcro to fasten. And the reason for that is fastening it. I mean, it does have a Velcro fastener there, so if this thing is in good condition, you're fine. But the thing is, once if you're in a muddy field, for instance, you get mud into the Velcro, and it just doesn't work. So now we have this bar here, and we just lift up the edges, and the teeth just sort of dig into it. You can also do the thing like you do with the Israeli dressing, passing it under and using it like a windlass. I usually don't recommend doing that though, because if you break this, you've broken the thing that you're relying on to fasten it. It's more of an issue with the Israeli dressing. You also have that backup Velcro here. So altogether, really well-designed piece of gear. And we're going to have John play with this ad nauseum until he gets it down to the point where he can do this one-handed, when we command him to, when we're doing range drills. Maybe I'll throw it at him and be like, hey, wrap yourself up, you just got shot. Throw on a tourniquet, you just got shot. Various things we add to drills to add a medical component to it.
What I'm noticing immediately after just a couple moments of having this on is that there's a distinct color difference between my two hands at this point, based on, as a result of how tightly and securely this bandage wraps.
Mm-hmm. So we've shown one basic usage of this bandage here, just simply. We didn't really demo a lot of the gear in this kit. If you guys want to learn how to use it, want to learn more ways to use this stuff, definitely take a look at our 10-minute medicine class. You'll learn a lot of neat tricks and life-saving tricks at that. Mark with Arm Dynamics.
John from Filster Holsters.
See you in a class.